What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay Free, aka Dat Guy, and today we're talking about seeking happiness. Now, as always, I'm only talking to those who actually want to be in long-lasting relationships. If this isn't you, trust me, you don't need my help at all, and all I'm going to do is frustrate or irritate you. With that said, let's get into it. Now, yes, my message is geared more toward my ladies because I do believe you ladies are being given just horrible information in an effort to get what you want. Now, in almost every video that I see, when women are explaining situations that they're going through, they continue to encourage other women to, above all else, seek happiness. There's no reason for you to stay in a situation where you are unhappy. And to a certain extent, I do agree with that. I don't think anybody wants to be in a situation where they're unhappy for an extended period of time. Now, with that said, I don't think you understand what that really means, and it doesn't look like this advice is satisfying you. So what has your reality taught you? Ladies who actually want to be in relationships, how successful have you been when you leave a situation where you were once happy but are no longer happy? Now, I have to assume the happiness that you're looking for is everlasting. Have you found that everlasting happiness? Have any ladies on a large scale found this happiness that you're looking for that lasts? I would believe the vast majority of women who actually want to be in long-lasting relationships would say that they have not found this long-lasting happiness. Now, I'm not concerned about being right or wrong, as I've stated in my previous videos. I just continue to see the same action yielding the same results stemming from the same motivation. And if the results that you're being told that you should get aren't being achieved, my common sense tells me something needs to be adjusted. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So let's understand something. We understand that happiness is an emotion. To seek satisfaction of an emotion is almost childlike. As an adult, to only want to be in a situation where you're happy almost guarantees you to fail. That's not a realistic outlook. We now have responsibilities, obligations, and even in the best scenarios, happiness may not be available at all times. One of the largest responsibilities of being an adult is a parent. And although it's very rewarding, for a minimum of 18 years, I think many parents, myself included, can say that there are often times of extended unhappiness. But at no point did I feel like I ever no longer wanted to be a parent. I think that the problem shown is based that everyone is seeking happiness is that we aren't children anymore. Because we now have obligations, responsibilities, happiness becomes insufficient as a motivation for us. As adults, we now have to seek duty. For instance, it's your duty to be self-sustaining. It's your duty to obtain a viable income and viable living arrangements. And it's your duty, if you have dependents, to ensure those dependents are taken care of to the best of your ability. The great thing about understanding your duty is that a byproduct of being successful within your duty is happiness. To continue to use that parenting analogy, the byproduct of providing for your child is that you're happy that they have a place to lay their head, and you're happy that they have food to eat, and you're happy that they're successful in their extracurricular activities. You're happy that they are growing healthy and strong. As a parent, these things bring you happiness. As it relates to your relationships, you rarely hear men speak on the search for happiness when they try to find a woman that they want to marry. You have seen videos where men were asked straight up, would you sacrifice your happiness for your family or your family for your happiness? And almost every time the men would sacrifice their happiness for their family, duty. But you've also seen the same videos with women being asked the same question and a different answer is given. Men understand their duty, especially the man that you want. And we derive our happiness from putting ourselves in a position to perform on that duty. We understand without question that it is our responsibility, whether we can perform on it or not, to maintain the ability to provide for our wife and family, to protect our wife and family, and provide a stable, sustainable structure for our wife and family. That duty is something that we understand, and we also understand that it does not always mean that we're going to be happy. But it seems that men don't get discouraged if happiness happens to temporarily leave. However, the women in our lives are being told that if happiness temporarily leaves, they're in the situation that they need to get out of. So ladies, here's another controversial take, possibly. But if you want a man to check off all the boxes of what you want in a man, simply put, your duty is going to be to support that man. Obviously, if this is a man that you want, not any random man, but the man you want, it would make you happy to see him happy, right? Simple reciprocation. We know that if we perform on our duty as a man, it'll make you happy. Does it sometimes mean that we have to do things we don't want to do? Absolutely. Personally, I've done many tasks for both the women in my life and my children that I did not want to do solely based on the basis that these were necessities for the women in my life or for my children. And only because they were necessities or simply because they asked. I did these things that I did not want to do based on their simple request, and it brought them happiness, which in turn made me happy. Now, if the man in your life is doing things to simply bring you happiness, what would the reciprocation of that be? Obviously, it would be you doing the same for your man. Now, I will reiterate, not any man, but the man that you want. So yes, your duty may include things that you don't want to do simply because you know that this will make your man happy. Now, it's funny. When we speak about these things with women, more often than not, they use these extreme what ifs to counter that. What if he asked me to do something crazy? Let's be realistic. The man that you want is not going to do those things purposely, habituously, and continuously. Good men don't do those type of things. That isn't saying that it's not going to happen once or twice, but to believe that you're going to be in a situation where you have to endure some oppressing, demeaning role where you're unhappy for an extended period of time only because your man asked you to do certain things is utterly ridiculous. It's just ridiculous because men don't operate that way. Yes, I may have asked you to do something that I know you don't want to do. Just the same way you may have asked me to do something you know I don't want to do. But do I believe that you're going to abuse me? Absolutely not. So why would you believe your man, the one you want, is going to abuse you? The reality is too many good men are being labeled with these what if stigmas that we aren't able to shake because some bad men do exist. Well, what has your reality shown you? Are these good men who have the potential to be abusive fulfilling on that abuse? Or have you been coerced to believe that the potential of a good man to abuse your generosity is enough to make you leave a good man? It's important to remember that the conversation we're having is not about a random man. I'm talking about the man that you actually want. So apparently he's proven that he doesn't show signs of being abusive. He doesn't show signs of being disrespectful. He doesn't show signs of being a bad individual. So the same way men have to risk believing that you're not going to take him for granted and abuse his generosity, it only makes sense to believe that the situation is only going to be good for both parties if this assumption is reciprocated. And unfortunately, that does entail things, doing things that women may tell you you shouldn't do for your man because it's possible he could take advantage of you. The irony today is that women are openly and unreservedly bragging about taking advantage of men. Hilarious. Until next time, you can do it your way, but what has your reality shown you?